Have you ever felt like the world is crashing down around you, yet somehow, in the quiet of your prayer, a deep peace takes over? What if I told you that peace is not just a feeling, it's a sign that Allah is speaking directly to you? Whether you're facing challenges, seeking answers, or just looking for hope, Allah is constantly communicating. You just have to know how to listen. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 powerful signs that Allah is guiding you right now. And trust me, the last one might change how you see your whole life. Stay with me, because these signs could be happening to you right now. Sign 1. Challenges and trials. Let's begin with something we all go through: challenges and trials. Every one of us faces difficult moments, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But remember, when Allah tests us, it's not to punish us, but to strengthen us. He tells us in the Quran that He will test us with fear, hunger, loss of wealth and loved ones. Why? Because through these trials, we grow closer to Him. Have you ever faced a hardship so tough that you didn't think you could make it through? Yet, somehow, you survived. That's Allah preparing you for something greater. Every trial you face is a sign that He is watching over you, shaping you into the person you're meant to become. So, if you're going through something difficult right now, remember, this could be one of the clearest signs that Allah is communicating with you. Sign 2. Unexpected help or opportunities. Now, after every challenge comes relief. That's where the second sign comes in: unexpected help or opportunities. How many times have you been in a situation where you felt stuck, and then, out of nowhere, help arrived? Maybe a friend called at just the right time, or you were given an opportunity you weren't expecting. This isn't just coincidence. Allah is always watching over you, and when you least expect it, He sends you exactly what you need, sometimes in ways you never imagined. Whether it's a person, a chance event, or a sudden breakthrough, these are all signs from Allah. He's showing you that He hasn't forgotten you. When you feel like doors are closing, He's opening new ones for you. Sign 3. You keep encountering a specific ayah or message. Have you ever noticed that a specific verse from the Quran keeps coming into your life again and again? Maybe you've been reading the Quran and a certain ayah stands out to you. Then later, you hear the same verse during a sermon, a talk, or even while scrolling through social media. It could even show up in a conversation with a friend. You might think it's just a coincidence, but it could be much more than that. This is the third sign. You keep encountering a specific ayah or message repeatedly. Allah works in ways that sometimes we don't immediately understand. When you keep seeing or hearing the same message over and over, it's not by accident. Allah is reminding you of something important, something that you need to focus on. Think about it. Why do you keep hearing that particular message? It could be about patience. Maybe you're going through something difficult, and Allah is reminding you to stay patient and trust His plan. Or it could be about forgiveness. Maybe you're holding on to hurt, and Allah is encouraging you to let go and forgive. This repeated message might also be about trusting Allah. Perhaps you're worried about the future, and Allah is sending you signs to remind you that He is in control and that you should rely on Him. Whatever the message is, Allah is guiding you to reflect on it because it has an answer to something you've been struggling with. When you notice this happening, don't ignore it. Stop and think, what is Allah trying to teach me? Is there something in my life that I need to change or improve? Am I not paying enough attention to something important? Allah is merciful, and He sends us these signs because He wants the best for us. Sometimes we might be asking for guidance, and this is Allah's way of answering us, by repeating a message until we truly understand it. So the next time you encounter the same ayah or hear the same lesson repeatedly, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, Why does this message keep appearing? How can I apply it to my life? Maybe it's a reminder to be more patient, to forgive someone, or to trust Allah more deeply. Whatever it is, know that Allah is guiding you, helping you grow, and drawing you closer to Him. Pay attention to the signs around you, and you'll find that Allah is always communicating with us, even in the smallest ways. Sign 4. Instinctive gut feelings. The fourth sign is something we all experience: instinctive gut feelings. Have you ever had a feeling deep down inside, a kind of inner voice telling you something, even though you couldn't explain why? Maybe it was a strong sense that you should make a certain decision, or a feeling that you should avoid something. This is what we call a gut feeling or an instinct, and this is often one of the ways Allah communicates with us, guiding us on the right path. We all experience these feelings at different times in our lives. It's that sudden thought or urge that you can't ignore. You might feel strongly that you should say yes to a new opportunity, even if you're afraid or uncertain. Or maybe you sense that you need to walk away from a situation that's not good for you, even though everything looks fine on the surface. These gut feelings are not random. They could be a sign from Allah, guiding you towards what's best for you or protecting you from harm. In the Quran, Allah reminds us that He is closer to us than our jugular vein. This means He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows our thoughts, our fears, our hopes, and even what we can't put into words. So when we feel those inner nudges, when something feels right or wrong deep inside, it could be Allah's way of guiding us through our instincts. Sometimes we tend to ignore these feelings because they don't always make sense logically. Maybe you feel like taking a certain step, but there's no clear reason why. Or you have a strong urge to avoid something, but you can't explain it to others. It's important to remember that Allah's wisdom is greater than ours. What we can't understand right now may make sense later on. Allah might be showing you a direction that you don't fully see yet. Think about a time when you had a strong gut feeling about something, and later you realized it was for the best. Maybe you avoided a bad situation or made a decision that led to something great. That's Allah's guidance, even when we don't recognize it at first. One example could be when you're about to take a job, but something inside tells you it doesn't feel right, even though everything on paper looks perfect. You can't explain it, but that discomfort is a sign. Maybe that job would have brought you stress or taken you away from something better. On the other hand, sometimes you feel a sudden peace about a decision that might look risky to others, but your heart tells you to go for it. These feelings are ways Allah helps you navigate life's uncertainties. It's also important to notice that sometimes, when we ignore our gut feelings, we might regret it later. How many times have you said to yourself, "I knew I shouldn't have done that," or "something told me this wasn't right"? That's because those instincts were there for a reason, and not paying attention to them can lead to difficulties. Trusting your gut is part of trusting Allah, because He knows what's best for you, even when you can't see the bigger picture. These instinctive feelings don't just happen by chance. Allah places them in your heart to guide you, to warn you, or to encourage you to take a step that leads you closer to His plan for you. But we need to be aware and open to recognizing these feelings when they come. The more we listen to our hearts, the more we learn to trust Allah's guidance through those subtle signs. So when you feel something deeply in your heart, don't ignore it. Pause and reflect. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Is this a sign from Allah? If you feel a strong push towards something good, that's likely Allah's way of guiding you in the right direction. And if something doesn't feel right, even when it looks good from the outside, take it seriously. This could be Allah protecting you from harm. Remember, Allah is always looking out for you, even in the smallest ways. Sometimes He speaks to you through the quiet whispers of your own heart, those feelings that guide you to make choices in line with His plan for your life. Trust that inner voice, because it's one of the ways Allah shows His care and guidance for you. Sign 5. You feel a deep peace. During prayer or dua, one of the most beautiful and powerful signs that Allah is communicating with you is when you feel a deep sense of peace during your prayer or dua. Have you ever noticed that after you finish praying, you feel lighter, calmer, and more at ease? Or while making dua, there's a moment where your heart feels content, as if all your worries are being lifted. That feeling is not just random, it's a sign from Allah, showing that He is close to you, listening to you, and responding to you. Prayer, or salah, is one of the most important ways we connect with Allah. When we stand before Him in prayer, it's like we are having a direct conversation with our Creator. And when we pour our hearts out to Him in dua, we are opening ourselves up completely, trusting Him with our problems, hopes, and dreams. During these moments, Allah gives us a sense of peace as a sign that He is near, that He hears us, and that we are not alone. Sometimes, when life feels chaotic or stressful, prayer can be the only time where you feel a sense of calm. You might be going through difficulties, but as soon as you make sujud, prostration, and submit to Allah, there's a relief that washes over you. It's as if in that moment, all the weight of the world is taken off your shoulders. This peace is not something we can explain easily, but it's something every believer can feel deeply in their heart. It's a gift from Allah, a sign that He is with you and that He is taking care of you. In the Quran, Allah says, "Truly, it is in the remembrance of Allah that hearts find peace." Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. This verse reminds us that real peace doesn't come from wealth, success, or material things. It comes from remembering Allah, from turning to Him in prayer, and from trusting Him with everything in our lives. When you feel that calmness in prayer or after making dua, it's Allah showing you that you're on the right path, that your heart is connected to Him, and that He is listening to your every word. But this peace isn't just about the feeling you get while praying. It's also a sign that Allah is accepting your prayers, even if you don't see the results right away. You might be asking for something specific in your dua, and even though the answer hasn't come yet, Allah gives you peace as a reassurance. He is telling you, "I hear you, and I am taking care of everything. Trust in my timing." This peace is Allah's way of comforting you, letting you know that everything is under His control, and that the answer will come when the time is right. There are times in life when we feel lost or confused, and prayer can feel like the only place where we find clarity. When we are uncertain about what to do, where to go, or how to handle a problem, making dua can bring us that clarity. It's in these moments of turning to Allah with our struggles that He guides our hearts to what is best for us. And through that feeling of peace, He shows us that the answers we seek are coming, even if we don't know it yet. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you're praying or making dua, tears start to fall? This is another way Allah softens our hearts and shows us that we are connected to Him. Those tears, that emotional release, are a sign that Allah is listening and that He's helping us release the burdens we carry. It's a powerful feeling to know that Allah is so close to us, that He cares about every little thing we're going through. When you feel this deep peace, it's a sign that you are truly in sync with your faith and that Allah is guiding your heart. Sometimes, even when things are not going well in our lives, this peace we feel during prayer reminds us that everything will be okay. It's like Allah is telling you, "Stay patient, have faith in me, and I will take care of the rest." It's a gentle reminder that no matter how hard life gets, we are never alone as long as we keep turning to Him. This peace isn't just a temporary feeling. It's Allah's way of reassuring us that we're on the right track and that He is always near. For those moments when you don't know what to do or you're feeling anxious, remember to make dua and pray. If you feel that deep peace during or after your prayer, that's Allah telling you to trust Him. He's letting you know that He's already working things out for you, even if you can't see it yet. Sometimes, the answer to our prayers is not something physical, but rather the calmness and comfort Allah places in our hearts to give us strength to keep going. This peace is also a reminder that no matter how much we struggle, Allah never burdens us with more than we can bear. Sometimes life feels overwhelming, and it's easy to lose hope. But when we turn to Allah in those moments, and we experience that deep sense of calm, it's Allah telling us that we are stronger than we think. He is giving us the strength to carry on, even when things seem too hard. It's important to understand that this peace isn't just a one-time experience. The more we turn to Allah, the more we will feel this peace consistently. It's a sign that we are building a strong relationship with our Creator. The more we pray, the more we connect with Him, and the more He blesses us with inner calm and reassurance. This connection brings tranquility into our everyday lives. And this peace isn't just about our own problems. It extends to how we see the world. When we feel that peace during prayer, it also helps us to be more patient with others, more forgiving and more understanding. Allah softens our hearts through this peace, allowing us to be better versions of ourselves, kind, compassionate, and trusting in Him. Remember, it's not just the big prayers that bring this peace. Even in the smallest du'as, asking Allah for guidance, for help in everyday matters, this peace can be felt. It's not about how big or small our requests are. It's about how sincere we are when we turn to Allah. When we ask with sincerity, Allah responds by calming our hearts. Sometimes, people might feel distant from Allah or think their prayers aren't being heard because they haven't received the answers they hoped for. But that deep peace during prayer is a sign that Allah is listening and that He is answering in ways that are best for us. Even if we don't see the results immediately, that peace is a reminder that Allah's plan is unfolding perfectly. So next time you feel anxious or worried, turn to prayer. In that moment of sujood, when your forehead touches the ground, feel the peace of submitting completely to Allah. This act of surrender brings relief that no worldly thing can provide. Allah is the source of peace, and He is always ready to give it to us if we seek it sincerely. The more you experience this peace, the more you'll understand that it's one of the clearest signs of Allah's presence in your life. It's a beautiful gift, reminding us that no matter what happens, as long as we stay close to Allah, everything will be okay. So, my dear brothers and sisters, these are just 5 signs that Allah is communicating with you. The truth is, Allah is always with us, sending us messages through challenges, help, instincts, and even the peace we find in prayer. The key is to open our hearts and pay attention. If you've experienced any of these signs in your life, remember, you are never alone. Allah is always guiding you, even when you don't see it. If this video helped you recognize a sign from Allah, please share it with others so they can reflect too. Jazakum Allah khairan for watching. May Allah continue to guide us all. Ameen. If you found this video beneficial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spiritual insights. And if you've noticed these signs in your life, share your experience in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to stay connected with Allah.